Imagine sending your nearly new MacBook to a loved one, only to have it arrive shattered. And the shipping company blames you. Now imagine fighting for weeks, losing sleep, feeling powerless, until one day you send bailiffs to their corporate office, and the finance director himself is forced to pay you from his personal account. This is the story of how I turned grief into the most satisfying revenge of my life. If you've ever dreamed of delivering karma to someone who wronged you, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up. Because today, I'm taking you on a journey of betrayal, persistence, and ultimate poetic justice against a billion-dollar shipping company. I never expected a simple favor from my mother-in-law to turn into a months-long battle for justice. But when UPS smashed a nearly new MacBook, they didn't just break a laptop. They lit a fire in me I didn't even know I had. Let me take you back to the beginning. I had bought my mother-in-law a MacBook, almost new brand, because she'd been talking about wanting one for ages. She was one of those rare people who could make anyone feel loved and important. To me, she wasn't just family, she was a mentor, a friend, honestly a second mother. So, like any helpful son-in-law, I carefully packaged that MacBook. I'm talking fortress-level packaging. Bubble wrap, foam padding, double boxed. You could have drop-kicked that thing and it should have survived. I took it to UPS, sent it off to her, and thought nothing more of it. A few days later, she called me. Her voice was trembling. "Sweetheart, the laptop, it's smashed." I remember staring at the wall, my jaw hanging. "What do you mean smashed?" She sent pictures. The screen was shattered. The metal casing bent. It looked like someone had tossed it off a loading dock. My stomach dropped. But hey, mistakes happen, right? I figured UPS would see reason. Oh, how wrong I was. I called UPS, calm and polite at first. I explained the situation, submitted photos, and requested compensation. They blamed me. "Sir, it looks like improper packaging," the rep said flatly. "Improper packaging? Are you kidding me? I followed every single instruction you provided." Weeks dragged by. They bounced me from department to department. They said my claim was invalid. They implied I was lying. They even threatened me with customs interest fees for a broken laptop. I barely slept that week. Every call felt like a small humiliation, like I was screaming into the void while some faceless corporation laughed. I wasn't going to let them gaslight me. I drove to the Apple Store, got an official statement. The laptop was clearly working before shipping. The damage was consistent with being dropped or thrown. Case closed. Right? Nope. UPS still refused. And then my mother-in-law passed away. It was sudden, unexpected. And that laptop issue, it was the last thing she ever asked me to handle for her. I can't explain the weight of that moment. Grief mixed with frustration until it became something else entirely. Resolve. This wasn't just about a broken laptop anymore. This was about honoring her. I filed in small claims court. UPS hired a lawyer. I still remember the letters they sent me, trying to intimidate me. "If you lose, we will pursue full legal costs." Most people would have backed down.
But I had a background in law from university, and I was done being bullied. We went to court. I won. Not just my claim, my costs plus interest. And you know what UPS did? Ignored the court order. At that point, I could have walked away, maybe filed more paperwork, waited months. But grief and anger are powerful motivators. I wanted revenge. I wanted drama. I wanted UPS to feel it. I upgraded the claim to the High Court and got a writ of control. That's the golden ticket for the most aggressive bailiffs in London. I hired them. I imagined the accounting team tossing my letters in the bin, thinking, this guy's not a threat. Oh, I couldn't wait. A week later, I got the report. The bailiffs arrived at UPS headquarters like a storm. Security tried to shoo them away. Office managers barked orders. The bailiffs didn't care. They started listing seizable assets, desktops, lobby furniture, maybe even that fancy corporate coffee machine. I couldn't get the body cam footage, but the written report painted a glorious picture. The finance director himself had to rush down. He was furious, red in the face. The bailiff calmly explained, "Sir, either you pay the full amount now, including all fees and interest, or we start removing company property."
Silence. Then, in the most delicious twist of fate, the finance director paid from his personal account to stop the seizure. I ended up with more than double my original claim. With all the fees and interest, I'm pretty sure UPS paid 3 times what they owed. But the money wasn't the real victory. The victory was the mental image of that arrogant executive, powerless, writing a personal check because his billion-dollar company thought I was just a nuisance. I can still picture that swanky UPS lobby. Security guards watching helplessly, bailiffs calmly tagging their computers, and the finance director sweating, knowing his corporate ego just got steamrolled by a single, stubborn guy with a writ of control. UPS wanted to bully me into silence. Instead, I walked away with triple my money and the sweetest sense of justice I've ever felt. Sometimes, karma doesn't need to wait. Sometimes you just have to push it along. My mother-in-law didn't live to see it, but I think she would have been proud to know that her last request ended with a billion-dollar company learning a very expensive lesson. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or pulled off. And of course, subscribe for more stories like this one. Who knows? Your story might be next.